After meeting and falling in love on a battlefield, the half-giant Sigrid becomes engaged to King Leif of the Volsung Viking clan. After making love in the home he built for her, Sigrid expresses her wish to marry in her homeland of Jotunheim among her family. After retrieving his father's sword from his tomb to bless the wedding, Leif and Sigrid travel to Jotunheim. Sigrid's father, giant King Glomar, is impressed by Leif's gift of seeds to repair their farmlands pillaged by the Aesir god Odin. The wedding is interrupted by the Aesir gods Thor and his brother Balder seeking the escaped criminal Loki, the frost giant, hiding nearby disguised as a serpent. Disbelieving their claims of ignorance, Thor massacres the entire clan, leaving only Leif and Sigrid alive when Balder mercifully tricks Thor into believing they are dead. Sigrid swears she will kill Thor and is immediately summoned to Hel by Loki, who offers his assistance. Loki and his daughter Hel advise Sigrid to acquire god-killing iron from the dwarf Andvari and an army from the Vanir gods. Sigrid seeks out 5 warriors touched by madness. After gathering Hervor, Shieldbiter, and Leif's own slave Eagle the Poet, they enter the woods seeking a Seid Kona witch, who ate her baby to gain the all-seeing eye from the Vanir goddess Freya. The witch, Aile, explains it was her mother who ate a baby. She merely inherited her powers. She soon volunteers herself and her slave Ulfr the Wolfman for their quest. Traveling to the forges of Nidavellir, Loki aids the group in bypassing the dead betrayed women guarding the gates. There, Andvari offers god-killing weapons, but warns that wielding them will curse their souls. Sigrid takes the spear antler, Aile the twin daggers, Hervor the sword, and Leif the axe. Andvari chooses to go with them as the 5th warrior. Sigrid throws herself into the dead river, where the betrayed women use their pain to make her skin harder than iron. Nearby, the ravens Thought and Memory spy on them for Odin. In a flashback, Thor is seduced by Loki's son, the world serpent Jormungandr in female form, to bind their fates. Balder warns Thor a woman seeks his death. Loki makes a deal with Freya that her people, the Vanir, will welcome Sigrid if she proves worthy. Sigrid and the others search in vain for Vanaheim, which has been hidden ever since Odin defeated them and stole their powers of prophecy, the immortality-granting apples of Idun, and Freya as his bride. Ulfr reports they are being followed by Odin's huntsmen, the Bolverkers. Sigrid is frustrated when Loki ignores her summons. Hervor worries if they fight against the Aesir, they may not be welcomed to Valhalla, where her 3 sons are waiting for her. Evading the Bolverkers, the group shelter at a farm. Thor defies Odin and leaves to find Sigrid. The farmers betray the group, who slay them before fleeing with the farmer's slave woman. Thor chases them but is prevented from following them when the woman opens the portal to Vanaheim, which no god can enter without starting another war. The woman, a servant of Vanaheim's king, deems the group worthy to enter. Having been forced to retreat, Thor encounters Sanjodika, goddess of defeat. King Tiwaz of Vanaheim refuses to help them as he cannot risk war with Asgard. With Loki whispering in her ear, Sigrid offers to return the apples of Idun to cure the Vanir's withered bodies. Tiwaz agrees and sends the woman, Thira, with them. Leif grants Eagle freedom. Unsure what to do, Eagle goes to Aile for advice on his future, but she spurns his romantic advances, hoping he will return home. It is revealed the dragon Fafnir, who guards the apples, was once a dwarf prince, and Andvari's friend who conspired with Loki to seize the throne and steal Andvari's gold, but was cursed into a dragon. Fearing they may die, Sigrid and Leif make love on the ship, secretly witnessed by Thira, whom Sigrid later teases. After a mighty battle, Fafnir is defeated and turned back to a dwarf. Andvari chooses to spare him, but Leif cuts off his head. They return the apples to Tiwaz, but the Vanir grows sick as the apples had been poisoned by Loki. Leif stays behind to allow Sigrid and the others to escape. In a flashback, Odin sent Thor to capture Loki's children. Jormungandr was thrown into the sea, Fenrir was chained for eternity, and Hel banished to the underworld. Leif recalls the harsh last words he spoke to his father. They both awaken from their nightmares, and Loki reveals the Vanir imprisoned Leif in the skull of Honir, an Aesir god half-murdered by Odin, whose broken mind overflows with madness. Sigrid and the others encounter the first wolves. Realizing Ulfr wears the skin of one of their pack, they grant him a single favor of guiding them to Leif. Loki helps Leif escape the memory of murdering Eagle's father. Leif helps Loki escape the memory of allowing Jormungandr to seduce Thor and realizes Loki has spent eternity as a scapegoat, a convenient god others blame for their sins. The Vanir follow Sigrid to Honir, but are met in battle by every Jotun tribe sent by Eagle to aid Sigrid. Sigrid beheads Honir, freeing Leif. Loki takes credit for the poisoned apples, but lies that he was ordered to do so by Odin. The Vanir, Jotun tribes, and Sigrid's group make a pact to wage war on Asgard. The night before battle, everyone takes mushrooms while sharing tales. An old storyteller tells of Fenja and Menja, Jotun sisters chained in a ship to grind salt for a greedy king. When the weight of the salt sank the ship, they and the king drowned, and forever after the oceans tasted of salt. A Jotun tells of the unnamed giant who built Asgard's wall, wagering Odin Freya's hand in marriage. To ensure he lost, Loki transformed into a mare and seduced the builder stallion, Svadilfari. The builder failed and was murdered by Thor. Egil tells of falling in love with a man named Odrik. Odrik's brother challenged him and Egil slew him but lost Odrik. Eili draws power from Ulfr via his confession of cannibalizing a child. Sigrid tells Thera of her youth not fitting in with her giant family, so she visited the lands of her human mother and met Leif. Having come to care for each other, Egil and Eili make love. Sigrid and Leif seduce Thera. Afterwards, the old storyteller reveals himself to Sigrid as Odin and warns her that, like Menja and Fenja, revenge may cost her life. Thor awakens from having seduced Sondrodica just as Sigrid and her army approach. Sigrid uses giant magic to undermine Asgard's wall. Loki plots to save his children from Ragnarok by ensuring Sigrid kills Thor. Sondrodica ends the fighting so the Valkyrie can collect the dead for Valhalla, though they ignore the bodies of Sigrid's army. Thor's wife Sif suspects by taking the goddess of defeat as his lover, Thor is secretly hoping to die. Thera tells Sigrid and Leif she wants to be with them both. Sigrid and Leif make love, but after Leif is asleep, Sigrid leaves him behind so he will survive. Eili does the same with Egil, and along with Hervor and Andvari, they infiltrate Asgard's wall. Eili leaves for her own mission while Freya leads the others to Thor, but he captures them. Loki helps them escape, but Andvari attempts to get revenge on Loki for Fafnir, so Loki kills him. Leif asks Sigrid to leave with him. Sigrid refuses and ties her mistletoe wedding crown to her spear as a symbol of resolve. She then leaves, wounding Leif in the leg so he can't follow, and tells him to wed Thera instead. Leif tells Thera what Sigrid wanted for them, but Thera admits it's only Sigrid she loves. During the next battle, Thor kills Tiwaz. Eili offers Odin the all-seeing eye Freya gave her mother. Egil infiltrates Asgard to find Eili. Odin is enraged when Eili kills his raven memory, sacrificing his knowledge of the past for a glimpse of the future where the world has forgotten him. Unable to remember his past, Odin kills Eili just as Egil arrives, but her sacrifice resurrects her as a new goddess, with Odin's memory and Freya's foresight. Egil stays, hoping their love will grow again. Thor defeats Ulfr and fatally wounds Hervor. As she feared, the Valkyrie refused her entry to Valhalla, though Hel assures Sigrid Hervor will find peace in Helheim. Thor demands Sigrid's surrender, but Sigrid chooses to fight for a better future. Balder saves Thor, but dies doing so as the mistletoe atop Sigrid's spear was his one vulnerability. Thor is distraught at Balder's death and allows Freya to take him to Valhalla. Loki murders Sigrid and sends her to Valhalla after Thor, while Leif is heartbroken. In Valhalla, Thor tells her the song of Sigrid is just beginning.